Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Coffee, where in today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the next era of Star Wars films that are going to be theatrical releases. We're going to take a look at the scale of those and what we can expect from those releases. That's today here on Star Wars Coffee. So if you guys recall, back in February, which was only a few months ago but seems like a couple of years ago at this point, Disney and Lucasfilm announced the launch of The High Republic, which is going to start out as Project Luminous, which has been announced to be The High Republic, which ended up being this era that takes place 232 years before the Battle of Yavin, which is a couple of centuries before The Phantom Menace. So the High Republic will be set in an era when the Galactic Republic and the Jedi Order are at their peak, like their height of power. And this period of the Star Wars timeline will not be overlapping any of the filmed features or series that are currently planned for production, giving the people who are in charge of the High Republic free range to do whatever they want with their original characters that they're creating. And all of this means is when they say they're not going to be overlapping with any of the current projects, that literally can only be referring to The Mandalorian, Kenobi, and Cassian at this point, because nothing else has officially been announced. And it will also include the Bad Batch series at this point, even though that's an animated series. So the High Republic is going to feature the Jedi as we have always wanted to see them, according to a Lucasfilm presser, as true guardians of peace and justice. This is a hopeful and optimistic time when the Jedi and the Galactic Republic are at their height. But of course, into the glorious new era, something wicked this way comes. This initiative will give fans a new corner of the galaxy to explore. This was the golden age for the Jedi and a time of galactic expansion in the Outer Rim. So there's a lot of things that they can do with this. And this is the reason I preface what I'm talking about today with the High Republic, is because the next Star Wars theatrical release isn't going to be happening until 2022. So the next couple of Star Wars films are slated for 2022, and I believe 2025 at the next one after that. And what we can expect from these releases is films focused on the High Republic. At the moment, the Lucasfilm pressers have only indicated that this is going to be a digital campaign, but they literally released a full trailer for this, which you can check out on the channel. They released a full Star Wars The High Republic trailer for this that was about 4.5 minutes, detailing what we can expect from Project Luminous, which again we now know is the High Republic. So it would only make sense for Disney to continue to do these theatrical films with what they're currently pushing, because Disney is so good at connecting what they've been releasing with what they're going to release in the future. We've seen this displayed with the MCU, how they're very good at seeding all of these storylines to culminate to what ended up being Endgame, in Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3, all of these things that they're culminating. And they're going to essentially be replicating this with Star Wars. So expect the High Republic to be the next set of Star Wars films. And the information that we have today about this is from MSW, and they have given us some information about what we can expect about the scale and about the budget and about what we can actually expect in terms of character content from this next era of films. So, quoting from MSW, "We have some more developing news on these productions really soon. Overall, my Pinewood sources expect movies to be a lot cheaper moving forward after the pandemic. In a very general conversation, a few of my sources essentially expect this next Star Wars films to be smaller in scale, a more intimate blockbuster because of the economic downturns the world has suffered. This really isn't the worst news either when you consider how cheap A New Hope and even Batman would cost compared to the movies released in 2019. So that is the latest news, and this is actually pretty telling given the sense that Disney is playing this a little more cautiously. Like they're not going all in with their chips, if this were to be a card analogy. They're going to do something what I would expect to be more like an Ant-Man in terms of scale to compare it to the MCU. So it's not going to be like an Iron Man movie or a Captain America movie or a Thor movie. It's going to be more of like a secondary MCU movie, which is Ant-Man. So like Ant-Man or Ant-Man and the Wasp. So expect that, like and in terms of Star Wars, expect it more of like on a Rogue One type of scale, where they're not going to be putting all of this massive amount of budget into these films like they did with The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker. Also expect the marketing campaign to be a little smaller. And expect the next era of these Star Wars theatrical films to be more of a niche type of thing, like Ant-Man was and Ant-Man and the Wasp were. Those are my two go-to examples because I really like those movies in the MCU. And if you guys recall, they didn't get, half of the attention that Civil War did, or Endgame, or Age of Ultron, or any like of those big power-packed movies like that. It was a more subtle movie, just continuing to seed along characters and to develop new characters. And the amount of promotion they got was abysmal compared to what the really, really big blockbusters get. So I wanted to set the stage for you guys to expect that. And that's what we can expect from the High Republic. So the only character that we could actually be seeing is Yoda and Chewbacca, I think. So those are the only characters that you can expect to see that you actually know. But I would expect all of these characters to be sourced from the material that they're doing with the High Republic era, which is why they're starting this campaign now with this first book released by Charles Soule in August, so that way by the time 2022 rolls around and this movie is going to be released, you already have this wealth of knowledge and canon that you can use to get a base knowledge of what this movie and what this era of Star Wars is going to be about. So while we only got a couple of lines of actual content, this is actually pretty telling. So I just wanted to give you guys that update. Let me know what you think about the High Republic. Let me know if you agree with me that this is going to be the next era of Star Wars films down below. Thank you guys for watching. May God bless you and the Force be with you always. If you enjoyed this episode, and frankly, even if you didn't, don't forget to subscribe.
Do it!
And if you want to help spread the word, please give this video a thumbs up and tell your friends to subscribe. Please check out the official Star Wars Coffee merchandise, and don't forget to check out all of the content playlists on this channel, including The Rise of Skywalker, The Mandalorian, and much more.